Welcome to the Product to Profit webinar. Thanks so much for joining me and giving me your time. I know you're really busy. I know your time is really valuable. So first of all, I want to acknowledge you for making the time to watch this. Whether you're watching it live or during the replay, thanks so much for being here with me. If you are not familiar with my work yet, and this is the first time you watch a training, I'm Leila Rasegi, and I'm the product strategist. I work with product makers and store owners that make and distribute purpose-driven products. So the people that work with me have a product that is a better option than what's out there right now. It's something that's greener, something that's ethically sourced, something that's organic, natural, and just an overall better option for the consumer. So now you know who I am, and I just want to say, if you're watching live, you can use the chat box to post your questions. I'm going to start sharing my presentation, but I'll be here for you if you need anything, if you have any issues, or if you have any questions, of course. So let me start sharing. Great. And the topic for today is, when should you expand your product line? And the reason why I picked that topic is because on my free group, the Work Smarter Crew, I got this question. And someone was asking me when was it a good time to launch a new product, launch a new thing. And they were saying that they already have a few successful products, but they were wondering when was it the right time to launch a new one. They were saying that they had like all these amazing ideas, but they weren't quite sure which to launch first, and they wanted to know, when is it the right idea to launch a new item? What's the right motivation behind expanding your product line? So then I decided, aside from answering their question, I'm going to make a whole training out of it. So here you are. This is the Product to Profit webinar. This is a complementary webinar series for people who have a physical product or a store that sells product. And I do 2 a month, and they're completely free. And if you sign up to the list via leilarasegi.com/10x webinar, you'll be getting updates when they happen. So the topic of today, like I was mentioning, is, when should you expand your product line? This is an agenda of what we're going to cover today. We're going to start by letting you know who this is for, if you're in the right spot, and what will you learn today. We're also going to be talking about my story, so I can tell you why should you be listening to me, and why am I a product and pricing expert. Then I'm going to share with you my promises for the training today. What are you going to be sharing? What am I going to be sharing? What are you going to be learning today? Then I'm going to share my system for business success. This is my signature system and the steps that I take my clients through. And I will be teaching you a little bit about that today so you can apply on your business. Then we're going to talk about the right time to launch a product. The 3 things that must happen for a successful product launch. We're going to also talk about the most common line extension mistakes. So what are the wrong reasons why people launch a product? We're going to also mention, what about launching a modified version of your current item? Is this considered a launch? Because I have people ask me, if they're going to launch a fat-free version of what they currently have, is that a launch, or can they do that? So we're going to talk about that. Then at the end of the training, I'm going to tell you how I can further help you if you want to grow your business and need my help. And we're going to have a Q&A at the end in case there's any lingering questions. But I want to say, there's a chat box on the bottom of your screen, and I will be available to answer all your questions at any time as they show up. So please use it. For starters, if you're watching live and you care to share what you do and who you do it for, I would love to adapt my example during this training for you. So if you're attending live, you can use the chat box. Pop into it below, tell me your name, and tell me what you do and who you do it for. So let's get started with the content. Is this you? Who is this training for? This is for people who have a store or they have a product. For people who have a great business idea, but they may not know exactly how or when to launch, or maybe you already have a line of product and you're wondering this exact question: when is it the right time to launch an additional item? This is also for people who want to take their business to new audiences, and for people that are not making as much money on their business as they would like yet. I work with a lot of people who are really passionate about what they do. They really believe in their product. They think they have a great thing going on. They think that they're making an impact, but they're not quite sure what the next step is for them to grow their business. A lot of them are stuck. They're either stuck at making a certain amount of money every month. They make a couple thousand. That's not enough for them to live on. Or they have already reached some success and they've been selling it to, for example, some stores, whether they're online stores or physical stores, and they're wondering how to manage that. How do they navigate the world of retail? So this is the type of people that I work with and help, and this training is going to help you out if you're in any of those stages. And if you want to share specific challenges around launching new products or any challenges in general, I'll be super happy to help you out. I'm keeping the chat box open to check it if you want to participate and have any questions. So I'll tell you a little bit about my story in pictures. So in the first one, you can see an amazing beach, as you know by now. I have an accent, and although I live in beautiful Toronto, Ontario, I'm from El Salvador. And people ask me, why did I leave? And my answer is everything but the weather. Toronto's amazing, multicultural, welcoming, and diverse in every single way you can think of. And why do I do what I do? I'll tell you a quick story about that. So I've always loved numbers. I've always loved strategy and growth and a lot of things that kids did not like. I was pretty much the only one that was happy with math and learning more about that. And that took me to engineering school where I got really good grades, and that took me to corporate consumer products. So I did not have an office like the one in the picture. I was sitting on a cubicle. And it was all amazing, right? I was doing well. I was getting promotions. I was super excited about growing and growing more in this environment. The next thing for me was going to be having a sales position, and super excited. I was like, I'm going to learn more about this, until I started a self-discovery process and path in which I started to really ask myself, what's my purpose? Why am I here? And I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. I just knew two things. The first one was I was not here in the world to dedicate 8 hours of my day to look at a wall, sit in a cubicle, and help a company sell more sugar. I was not here to help people eat more things that were not good for them. And I was definitely not here to help companies sell things that I wouldn't eat myself. So then I thought, what do I want to do? And I had thought that I wanted to be a consultant. And my plan was to be a consultant when I turned 50. And I had a ton of experience. And I thought then I'm going to have the right credentials. After that, I started networking with a lot of entrepreneur groups. And I realized that I have an engineering degree in business, I have a master's in strategy, and I have worked in corporate. And I know secrets that small businesses would die to know about why people shop. How does consumer psychology work? Things about pricing, promotions, and strategic planning, goal setting that I knew would be really valuable for small businesses. So then I developed my program. And after that, I started working with small businesses and supporting them in all of these areas, helping them grow their business. I help people that are amazing at what they do, but they need a little bit of business perspective and support, or a lot. So my promises for you today is that I will be giving you something that you can start applying today to make a difference in your business. This is not one of those trainings where everything you learn is theory. This is a training in which we're going to be talking about specific tips that you can walk away with and make a difference in your business. This is my way of giving back and my way of making an impact, whether you're my client or not. And this is also going to be a time to help you figure out how you can grow your business efficiently and sustainably. So that means with the better use of resources and in a way in which you're not going to have an amazing month of sales first and then you're going to go down, right? So we want to keep your business going up. And there's no question of limits when it comes to business. If you have any questions right now, you can pop them into the chat box and I'll be happy to answer, whether they're about business in general or about the topic of product launch and line extensions. My system for business success, it's the POND system. And the reason why it's different than a lot of other systems and programs out there, it's two things. And the first one is the fact that we focus on foundations first. I don't believe in taking a mediocre or an idea that hasn't been tested and just making it look pretty, or creating a website or PR or branding for something that hasn't been properly planned. So we start with that. We start with the back end of your business, with your business model, your financial model, and everything that is your foundations. Then we work on your offerings. So what are the things that you're going to be actually putting forward? What's going to be your pricing and what is going to look like? After that, we plan for a launch or relaunch of your business. So how are we going to implement these revisions? And then after, we think about direction for success. So where is your business going to go? So why do you want to extend your product line? That's the question that I want you to ponder on today. What's the motivation behind this expansion? Maybe you have some ideas, you're not quite sure if it's time to expand, or maybe you're actually starting to plan it. So let's talk about that and the motivations behind this. Why? Is it because a competitor launched a new product and you want to do it too because you think it's a great idea and you can do it better? Or is it because a customer told you that they would love it if you made blank? Maybe you have a line of pies and they told you they would love it if you make cookies. Maybe you have a line of kombucha and they told you that they would love a strawberry flavor. Or do you want to do it because it's another thing you're passionate about and it is this idea that you've had in your head for a while and you're like, why not? I just want to do it. So is any of these motivations yours? Or maybe your motivation is something different. Why do you want to launch a new product? Let's talk about that. So all of those reasons can be good to get some ideas going and starting. But the answer is the right time to launch a new product is when it aligns with your big goal for the year. And by the way, that picture is from my neighborhood, Kensington Market in Toronto. So that's why I'm using it. I was super excited to find it. It's like 5 minutes from my place. But going back to the topic. So it's the right time to launch a new product when it's going to help you achieve your goals. So if you've done your planning for the year, it'd be really easy for you to answer, what's my goal for the year? If your goal for the year is to grow sales on what you currently have, then it's not a time to launch. If your goal for the year is expanding into new markets with your current product, then it's not a good time to launch. So you either have to align with the goal you currently have for that year and for that month, or you have to modify your goals to fit this project of a launch. And furthermore, how can you know if it's really a good idea to launch a product now? Like, is it a good time? There's two things I want you to think about. And the first one is your current products are doing great. Either that or you're getting rid of them. You're getting rid of that specific product that's not doing well. So your current line has to be healthy. And if it's not, you have to focus on fixing it, or you have to focus on deleting the product. Those are your choices. You cannot just launch a new thing and just let this one to see where it goes. Like, you have to have a plan. And like I said, that plan has to be either fixing it through pricing, through branding, through a marketing plan, through a redesign of the product, or deleting it completely, right? You have to have a healthy line before you're thinking of new launches, because your new launch cannot be a band-aid to hide the fact that your current line is not doing well. And we're going to talk more about that later. It's also a good time to launch a new product when your target market is clearly defined. If you're still figuring out who's going after what you currently have, it's not the right time to launch a new thing. It's the right time to do some planning and to really understand who are you working with, what's the type of people that you're working with, and where are they buying from you. The best idea is to launch something that your current market will love. This is super important. When you're thinking of launching a new business, you'll have a choice. You'll have a choice between launching something completely different or between giving a new thing to your current market. At the beginning of your business, always go for giving something extra to your current market. And that is because you already have a following. You already have a following that does of people that need specific things. So maybe you're selling bone broth. Like, I have a client of mine that does this. Maybe you're selling bone broth to busy professionals that don't have the time to cook. So then what else can you sell to busy professionals that don't have a time to cook, instead of thinking, oh, I'm going to sell some baby food? Right? It's a completely different business for a completely different market, right? So it's always easier to offer something to the same market, because marketing many offers for different people can get confusing for them and for you, because who are you going to be talking to on your social media? Who is going to be who's going to be the people that you're going to be talking to at networking events? When you get opportunities to speak at events, what events are you going to go to? Like, now you have to choose if you're talking to different markets, right? So, and I want to say, that being said, you can launch as many businesses as you want, but not at the same time. If you're on growth mode in one, I would definitely advise to be more stable before you launch a new one. The second thing to take into account is your new product is complementary to the current ones. So the thing that you're launching is something that goes well in addition with what you currently have. And let's talk more about that. You have to be careful. Be aware of launching something that your clients will use instead of your current product, and the key word there is instead. When I was a buyer in retail, one of the first things I asked people when they came to me with a new idea is this something that's substituting your current offering? And this is a term it's funny, because if you're not in the retail industry, you might think sounds dramatic, but we call this cannibalization. So is this new product cannibalizing the one you currently have? That means that people will buy it instead of your current offering. So the winning strategy here is to launch something that will make your clients say, product B is such an amazing complement to product A that I'm already using and loving. I want to get both. So you have to be really careful that what you have is something that's going to be used in addition instead of being used instead of. You also want to think about, do you have the time and money to invest in this new launch, or is it just a nice idea that you want to go after? It's although passion is amazing and having a great idea is amazing, you can't go and forward and launch things just because you think it's a good idea, because it sounds nice. You have to really make sure you have the time and money to invest in a new launch, and even more when it's a completely new business and not a new product. You have to remember that any new product needs time, money, and attention, right? It's you have to make a clear plan for it, and there's gonna be you have to dedicate time and attention and money to things like your marketing, your financial plan, your distribution strategy. So do you have the capacity to do that right now? And if you don't, postpone your launch. So now let's talk about the mistakes. And these are real things that I've seen happening in different companies. And I'm going to try to keep my examples general, so you don't identify the companies where I've seen it. The first mistake is to launch a new product to make up for disappointing performance from your current items. A lot of people do this when they have investors in their business because they want to make their numbers look better. Right? So they think that if they launch a second product, it'll be all good because now people will, this will increase their sales. So they might say, oh, the first product is only selling 10% of what the forecast we expected. So what can we do? Instead of fixing it, we're going to sweep this under the rug and launch a second product. We're going to focus on product number 2 now, and we're going to invest in it. And this is going to make our company look better. This is not the right strategy. People are going to see through it. Investors are going to see through it. And the only good reason to launch a new product is because you think it's going to do well. And the right way of doing it is by taking care of your current items that are not performing. And as I was saying at the beginning of the presentation, you either invest, you make a new plan to make up and fix the disappointing performance, or you delete the product completely. The second mistake I've seen is launching a lot of items at once in an attempt to look like a bigger business. So I've chatted with small business owners that tell me, okay, so I have a jewelry line and I have these 3 items. Should I launch 5 more that I have in mind right now? And when I ask why, they might say, oh, it's because like I see other companies doing it. This may be the case of people that have a beauty line, like a cosmetic line, and they might think, oh, but I can have a product for acne, and I can have a product for eczema, and I can have a product for aging skin. And when you ask why, it's because they've seen it, they've seen big companies do it. The reality here is that Procter & Gamble, for example, which is the company in which I started my consumer products career, which is probably the biggest corporation that has the best research for shopper data and consumer data. They may have right now like 15 varieties of Head & Shoulders, but they did not start like that. They did not start with 15 products. And I was telling this to someone in my group as well. You're a small business, so people cannot and are not expecting you to have the same amount of products and the same level of service, like the same delivery times and the same amount of products as a bigger company, because they know what they're dealing with. And you're a small business that may have things that are handmade and things that are made in small batches. And that's the reason why people are going after you. So launching more in order to look like a bigger business or look more professional is not a good strategy. The third mistake is assuming that more products equal more money. Huge, huge mistake. And it's somehow tied into the first thing that I mentioned as well, trying to launch product to make up for like bad performance of an item. Don't think that if you have 4 more products, you're going to have more sales. That's actually the opposite a lot of the time. If you have more product, You have to invest more money, especially if you have a physical item. You have to invest money in design. You have to invest money in marketing. You have to invest money in distribution, materials, shipping, handling, etc., 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 etc. So you have to invest more money. And if this income's not coming back, more products don't equal more money. In fact, when you have a very efficient line of product in which you have 3 or 4 items that are selling amazingly well, that's a lot better for economies of scale, for efficiency, and for shelf space if you're in a store. Or even if you sell online, you're gonna need less space on a website to sell $100,000 if you're selling it in 4 products than if you're selling $100,000 in 15 items. You need more space, you need more investment in general. So more products do not equal more money, and if that's the reason why you're launching more things, you probably will end up needing more investment, and then if it doesn't work out, then you need to deal with the cost of withdrawing the product from stores, whether they're online or physical. So no, more products don't equal more money. Here's a quick testimonial from a client, and one of the things I helped her with was to determine what were going to be the products that she was going to be launching, because she had a lot of different ideas for both. She makes pillows, but also essential oil mixes. So I helped her figure out what was the most efficient way of launching, what were the priorities. And this is what she had to say about working with me. So we started the process by looking at her business planning, at her business model, financial model, and determining what makes more sense for her to start selling, what are the items and things that are going to work the best for her. So let's answer this question that I also get really often in my group and from clients. I just want to launch a new flavor, a new smell, a new color, a new variety of what I currently have. Is this a launch, or can I just do that? So the answer to that is this is also considered a new launch or line extension. Because what happens is anything new that you launch needs time, money, and attention. It needs more time, more space in shelf. It needs more space on your website. It needs more of everything, right? So this is also considered a new launch or line extension. That being said, it may be the easiest way to launch or extend, just to make a modification to what you currently have. But let me tell you again, you do not need 15 flavors of the same thing, especially not right away. If you add varieties, 1 or 2 at a time, it gives you, it allows you to test. It allows you to test, and understand which flavors or varieties are working well, which ones are not, which ones do you really need, and which ones you can get rid of. Also, it helps you understand cannibalization. Because if you start launching new varieties and flavors and you don't necessarily understand the impact on your line, you won't know if maybe your lime flavor is going to be substituting the orange flavor in minds of the consumers. And you will never know if you would have the same sales with 5 products than with 50, which is definitely a much better idea to have a smaller and efficient line that gives you more sales per item. Is going to make you achieve better economies of scale when it comes to materials and production, and it's going to make your products look a lot better to potential distributors, retailers, stores, etc. So you're a small business, behave like one. If you're watching this training, I'm assuming you're a small business. And the reality is you do not need a huge line, because people will just get the next thing that's available. If you're selling 5 flavors of soda and you delete the ones that's selling the least, well, then people will just choose another flavor and they'll be done with it. If you have, for example, a chocolate chip cookie, and then you have dark chocolate chip cookie, I can guarantee that if you leave one, like people are just gonna go for the other one that has chocolate. Like you're not going to lose clients over a small change like that in most of the cases. And it's also a lot easier to extend your product line and impress people that way that have to delete product. So it's better to be really conservative at the beginning and start small with a few flavors, a few smells, a few colors, and a few varieties. Avoid unnecessary line extensions because having a smaller assortment is better. It's more cost efficient, it's more specialized, and it's easier for the customer to make a decision. Because if you tell them that they can decide between lime and ginger flavor versus lime, tangerine, and ginger, they're confused. And a confused mind doesn't buy. So sometimes more choices are not the best. And actually, I think I'm going to do a whole training on choices because it's been shown that people might tell you if you ask them, do you want more a wider variety? They will say yes, but in practice, when you have a wider variety, you end up selling less because it's harder for people to make a decision. So this is the content that I have for you today, but I have a couple of more invites. The first one is for my free community on Facebook, which is the place where I get a lot of the topics for these trainings. It's called the Work Smarter Crew for product makers and developers. And this is for people who want to grow their product-based business by working smarter and not harder. So what's in it for you? We have a community going on, people networking, answering each other's questions, giving each other recommendations of things like distributors, online platforms, etc. As of now, I do unlimited Q&A. So if you have a business question, I'll pop in there and I'll help you. As my business and my time is getting busier, I'm going to have less and less time to do that. So if you pop in there right now, you have a chance to get some free coaching and consulting. You get exclusive content that I only film for people in the group. And yes, you can promote your business as long as you add value to the community. So if you want in on this, you can visit leilarasegui.com/worksmarter and completely free to join. So I hope to see you there. And if you have any questions after the training, this is the place to go and ask. Which one are you? So are you a hamster or a squirrel? There's two types of entrepreneurs. The hamster entrepreneurs are the ones that want to keep on trying to do the same things over and over again, even though they know that they're not giving them the results they want. They're popping to their wheel and they go, round and round and round, every day doing the same things, expecting different results, which doesn't work out. Because the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results. Whereas the squirrel entrepreneurs are the ones that sit down and take their time to do some proper planning. They know where they're going and they pick the right steps to get them there. They're efficient, they get the support they need. The difference between these two really cute rodents is in the systems and strategy. So which one are you? Are you stuck doing the same things? Are you stuck in pre-launch mode? Are you stuck thinking that you may be making this business work one day? Or are you working smarter? Are you making a plan? Are you getting support in the areas in which you need help? This is another experience, and this is my client that has bone broth. And she is already, she's already the owner of a very successful business. And you can see her full case study at leilarasegui.com/case study. We worked on her and two main things. One of them is her promotion strategy. So understanding how could she most efficiently promote and discount her product without losing money, and understanding how what different types of promotions she could do that were not necessarily just discounts. So things like bundles and different things. We also talked about creating a survey I helped her create a survey for her customers to understand them better and how they worked. And we were able to create the right incentives for them to fill them out, and that's the right questions for her to do the right modifications to her strategy and her product according to what her customer specifically needed. And we found a few surprises when we did that. So I help people go through specific challenges with things like tactics, pricing, promotions, planning, but I also offer a bigger program for people that want to start from scratch or want to revise their full business plan. If you are an entrepreneur that is at a certain level in their business and you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you're really passionate about what you do, you have an amazing product, but you don't know where to go from there. Maybe you've reached a new level in your business already. You have a new milestone. You have a new distributor. You're in more stores. You're tapping into new markets, and you want to take that and take full advantage of it. So if you're feeling stuck because your results are not quite there yet, if you want to launch and you want to launch the right way, or if you're doing well but you want to fully take advantage of new opportunities you're having in your business, this is for you. You can apply for a complementary strategy session. I only have 5 spots per week, and the reason why you have to apply is because I only talk to people that I can help during the call. In this call, you'll get clarity on where you are, where you want to go, and how to take you there. And we'll talk about clear next steps for your business that are customized to your purpose, to your plan, and your target market. During this call, we also figure out if we are a perfect fit for me to help you grow your business further, because I only work with hell yeses from both sides. And if we're not a hell yes from both of us, then you walk away with clear next steps and you can go away and implement on your own. So if this sounds like something that would interest you, there's 5 spots every week. They go really quick, and you can apply at leilarasegui.com/session to fill out a quick form, a short form, so I can know more about your business and I can be 100% sure that I can help you during the call. And then I send you a link to book with me. So if this is you, I invite you to leilarasegui.com/session. I want to invite you to the next webinar. It's going to be on March 21st, and the topic is 3 steps for perfect product pricing. This is a topic that's been really, really popular in my group, and I want to go deeper into that. So I'm going to explain specifically how do you generate the perfect product pricing. So see you on March 21st. And before we're done with the training, I want to pop by to thank you so much. Thanks so much for watching live. Thanks so much for watching the replay and for dedicating time to the growth of your business. That being said, here we're just scratching the surface because I just have an hour or less with you. So if you want to go deeper, the way to go is by creating a customized plan for your business, for your purpose and your target market and your specific situation. So if you want to do that, I want to highly encourage you. Do not stay stuck. Get the support you want, because having an amazing product is not enough to be successful in business, unfortunately. You need the right plan, you need the right strategies, you need the right expertise. So if that sounds like you, I encourage you, do not wait any longer, because every month that you spend where you're not making the right amount of money in your business is a loss. If you believe that you can make $10,000 every month and you're only making $2,000, you're losing $8,000 each month. So I encourage you, if this is you, please reach out and apply for a complimentary strategy session at leilarasegui.com/session. Have an amazing rest of your week and see you at the next webinar.